All right, doesn't look like anyone else is popping in at the moment, so we're going to go ahead and get started. My name is Kirsten Kressel-Swatanik. I am one of the Associate Directors of Admissions here. I am also an alumni of JU. I've graduated class of 2019. I was a theater major with a minor in psychology. And then in 2022, I got my master's degree. So I am what we would like to call a double dolphin. So super excited about that. I also have here with me in the chat, I have Miss Kimberly Marsh. She is our coordinator of International Student Services. She's also our designated school official, as well our DSO, and she'll be talking with you guys a little bit further into the presentation about the I-20 process and the visa process. So she'll also be in the chat for any questions that you all may have throughout the presentation, and we'll definitely have a section at the end for you all to ask questions there as well. So without further ado, we'll go ahead and get started. So first, I'm going to go through a little bit about what Jacksonville, Florida is. So Jacksonville, Florida is in the northeast corner of Florida, and we are the largest city in the continental U.S. by our landmass. So we are a huge city in itself. We're not big and overwhelming as necessarily maybe if you know about maybe like a Chicago or New York City would be per se. But we are a large city in itself and plenty to do around the area outside of the school. We're also home to 7 professional sports teams. That does include the Jacksonville Jaguars, who is our NFL sports team. And we also have some minor league hockey teams, baseball teams as well. And then we are only a 10-minute drive from 22 miles of beaches. So if you are a beach person, we are not too far from that at all. And then if you'd want to vacation over the weekends, we are not too far from some other states to go up to the Carolinas or Georgia, or further explore Florida. You can go down to Miami, Orlando, Tampa, or over onto the Panhandle area. We have, Panama City Beach, there's Pensacola and Tallahassee. Right now on JU campus, we're almost to 2,700 undergraduate students and 1,400 graduate students here on our campus. Last year in total, with both combined, we had 4,001 students enrolled. We also represent 33% students of color, 61 countries, 49 states, and 4 districts and territories. Right now, we do offer over 60 majors and 67 minors on JU campus. And what's really great about JU is we are super flexible on giving you the possibility to combine double major, major minor, however you want to make that work, so you can do everything you want to do while you're at JU. On our website, we have what is called the PODS application, also known as the Pathways of Distinction, and you can use it for free. And you can go on there and click everything you want to do while you're at JU. So if you want to be a math major with a minor in computer science and maybe art, you would click all those options. It would tell you how many credit hours they are, how long it will take to get those degrees, the curriculum breakdown, and what jobs people are getting with those degrees post-graduation. So it's an awesome tool to use to kind of figure out if you want to do more than one thing, if you have passions around other things, if they'll fit into what you want to currently do for your future career, or maybe you're just able to tag on some extra stuff while you're here. Right now, we are a 13-to-1 student-to-teacher ratio, and we try to cap our classes around 30 or 35. Just depends on the major you're in and what time of year you're taking those courses, but it can also range down to having 3 to 6 people in your class to an, like I said, the average of around 13. So, those small class sizes, no big lecture halls. You're going to have one-on-one time with your professors. We don't do TAs or anything like that. So all our professors are highly trained in the field they're teaching in. They've either had 20 years or more experience in their field and are now teaching, or they're teaching and working in their field at the same time. We also have 5 colleges, 5 schools, and 2 institutes. So once you declare your major, you would be in one of those. And you do not have to declare your major until the end of your sophomore year. You can do your first 2 years doing your core classes. We are a liberal arts school, so you take a core class curriculum on top of your major courses. As for involvement at JU, we do have over 100 student organizations that you can be a part of. Below there's the top 5 most popular ones that we do offer. A personal favorite of mine would be the Outing Club. It is literally just an organization of students who love to do stuff for the outdoors and good for the community. So some weekends they'll go rock climbing, they'll go camping at the beach, they'll do beach cleanup. Just a great way to get involved in the community and also just enjoy the outdoors and be a part of JU. But if out of those 100 organizations, there isn't something that you necessarily want to be a part of, you can start your own club on campus. All it takes is for a faculty advisor to oversee it, 5 students to sign up, and for the dean of students to sign off on it. And then we do also have Greek life on our campus. We do have 10 different Greek organizations. And then we do offer over 60 fine arts performances and exhibitions per year. It is free for any student to attend those. And then even if you aren't a major or a minor in the arts, you can still audition or be a part of those as well. And then we do also offer 20 intramural sports per year, 10 per semester, that interchange. The most popular ones would have to be probably soccer, men's and women's basketball. And then we also have introduced esports. So if you're into video gaming, we now have esports as well. Speaking of sports, we are a D1 school for our athletics. We do have 17 Division I sports and 2 varsity sports. The varsity sports are going to be our clay shooting team and our sailing team. And then we're highly known for our men's and women's basketball, men's and women's lacrosse, and men's and women's soccer. So how do you become a dolphin? So we are rolling admissions. This means that there is no deadlines when it comes to our application process. So when our application opens, it opens always on August 1st, and you technically have until the next August 1st to apply. However, being an international student, you're going to want to apply a lot sooner than that due to the I-20 and visa process that Kim Marsh will go over in a little bit. So the sooner the better, as always. But when you apply, there's no like priority deadline or anything like that. And we try to get our decisions out within 3 to 4 weeks. So you can apply tomorrow, you can apply a month from now. But like I just said, the sooner the better. And then you'll have your decision once we have all and everything materials and that we need to review your application within 3 to 4 weeks. We do not have a required GPA or test score requirement through our application process, but we do like to showcase the middle 50% of the class that just came in. Their average weighted GPA was a 3.7. Their average SAT was a 1060 to a 1230, and their ACT was a 23 to a 27. However, we are test optional, so if you do not want to submit test scores, you do not have to whatsoever when it comes to the SAT or the ACT. And then you can also apply through the Common App or our application on our website. It is completely up to you which one you want to choose. It looks exactly the same to us. Being an international student, there are some additional materials that we will need when it comes to your application. When you apply, it will ask for your high school or upper secondary grades. So we will need the grade record attached to your application. Your school can send it to us. You can upload it yourself, or you can email it to whoever your counselor is, which it will show you on your status portal. But we'll need the official copy of that sent to us with all your upper secondary grades. And then if you are from a non-English speaking country, we will also need that translated to English when that is sent to us as well. We will also need a proof of English proficiency. We'll take anything from like the Duolingo, SAT, IELTS, TOEFL, and Kim Marsh is going to put a link in there to our international website showcasing all the ones that we take and the score you must meet to be able to be reviewed when it comes to that proof of English proficiency. And then any additional exams that you might have taken, so like the Cambridge exams, WAEC, or the CAPE, we will also need a copy of those on top of your upper secondary transcripts as well to be able to review your application. Not required, but we do recommend you submitting 1 letter of recommendation and an essay as well. The essay is an open-ended topic, but we'd love to learn about why you'd want to attend JU, why you're choosing the major that you're choosing, or just more about yourself so we can learn more about you. And then the link down there, you're able to type that in and you can go and apply on our website at any time. And now I'm going to hand it over to Kim Marsh, who's going to go over our F1 student visa process.
Thank you so much, Kirsten. I appreciate it. So this is kind of a simplified version of the process. So once you've gone through the whole process that Kirsten mentioned just previously and you are admitted, then from there, we highly encourage you kind of sit down with either myself or your admissions counselor, go through the finances, the financial expectation of attending JU. And that's particularly important only because the finances play into a huge part of the I-20 process. So a Form I-20 is a legal document that JU or DSO creates, and it basically is a stamp or document saying to the US government when you go into your visa interview, like, yes, JU confirms that they are wanting me to be a student here. They've confirmed that I am an academic fit and that I am a financial fit, and that they are willing to support me with this visa. And so once I issue the I-20, from there, it's kind of the student responsibility for the rest of it. And we do have a website that kind of goes through the steps as well, and so does the federal government. So go through everything looks good financially, academically, you feel like JU is a fit. And then from there, you would pay the enrollment deposit. And only at that point do we begin the I-20 process itself. The three most important documents that we would need for it is a copy of your passport. And mind you, it has to be valid. So it cannot be within 6 months of expiring at the start of your program. And the second one is going to be a support document. So if, for example, you're going to be using the financial statements of grandma or grandpa or a guardian, then we would need a bank note essentially saying, like, this is the owner of the account. This is how much is on there in your local currency. We don't need it converted to US dollars, but it would be nice if it was. And then the financial statement. So this can't be a salary, for example. We're looking for financial statements that are from liquid accounts. So a checking or a saving, something that you or the person sponsoring you can readily access. And mind you, it doesn't all need to be on one account. So if you're having grandparents cover one part and then like a organization covering another, we can have two financial statements that essentially add up to the cost of attendance. And that cost of attendance can be determined by on our website. All our costs and fees are added onto there. And then since all admitted students are given a merit scholarship, your merit scholarship would be deducted from that. And then the remaining amount is what we're looking for. So once you submit all those documents, we'll review it. And then from there, if everything looks good, I issue you an I-20. And then you now are in charge of paying your 901 CVIS fee and then applying for a visa appointment at your local consulate. And then as well as working on the other fees and documentation with your local consulate. So we typically recommend giving it at least a month and a half or 2 months, only because in certain countries, like Nigeria, for example, F1 student visa appointments are only available about a year out. But then other countries, for example, like I know we have a student in China right now who was able to get an appointment literally 2 weeks from now. So it really depends on the consulate you're at. And so assuming everything goes well, you go to your interview, that you are approved, then they'll take your passport and they typically keep it for a while and then they'll stamp it, take some documents from you. And then within a few days or at least a week, they'll let you know that your passport's ready for pickup, if not the same day. You take that essentially, and then you gotta work on the rest of the steps. And that's kind of the mini summary of the process. And we can always go over details as well as you come along. But again, our website as well shows the transparent steps of what is required pre-arrival, as well as during your arrival and post-arrival. Thank you, Kirsten.
Thank you, Kim. All right. Okay, so as for numbers, now these numbers right here are only going to go over the tuition and current room and board. I will go ahead and preface that anticipating around a 2% increase in these costs for this upcoming fall 2024 year. And those will be posted within the next few months. But right now the tuition is around $45,050 a year, and room and board is around $16,545 a year. This is in United States dollars, and this does not include any additional student fees, visa fees, or health insurance fees. So I do want to preface that if you decide to move forward, and once we find out what your merit is, if you are admitted, we'll go through exactly everything plus the fees and cost, what your merit is minus that, and exactly how much it's going to cost out of pocket and what we need to see on those financial documents that Kim was just mentioning. But like with the merit scholarship, 95% of our students will receive institutional aid as a first-time freshman. Right now, that can range anywhere between $14,000 and $34,000 USD per year based on your application. We are a holistic review school. So this means that everything you put onto your application on top of your grades that we're looking at will determine your eligibility for admittance, and also based on what merit scholarship you will be offered. If you are admitted, a merit scholarship will be offered to you in your admit letter. You are also eligible for some small institutional scholarships as well. We have some fine arts opportunities, athletic opportunities, honors and scholars, which if you are eligible for honors and scholars, a week after your admittance, you'll be sent an offer letter for one of those programs a week after that. And so those are just a few of the additional ones. I do like to preface that since we are a private institution, the only major scholarship that we do offer is that merit scholarship. So I do just like to be very transparent about that, is we do not offer any sort of full ride or fully funded scholarships. We only offer that merit-based scholarship because we are a private institution that covers just a portion. As for paying for school, like I just said, there is some additional types of aid. So we have the merit scholarship and the small institutional scholarships, as I just mentioned. You are eligible to find some outside scholarships if you can. So if you have the opportunity to find some of those, we will take those. So if you have something local to where you live or an organization you're a part of that's willing to cover some portion of your costs with an outside scholarship, we'll definitely take those, of course. And then you are eligible to find some private loans as well. So those are pretty much the three types of aid options, again, because we are that private institution. And there are some links as well that you can go on our website and find that may have some additional opportunities for you. Now, my favorite part about attending JU was our experiential learning. So when you attend JU for your bachelor's degree, you are required to take a 3-credit-hour course called the experiential learning course. To fulfill that credit, you must do one of the 4 following. You must do an internship, study abroad, undergraduate research, or a service learning project. So you're essentially going to choose what's going to best prepare you for your future career. I will say the internship is probably the most popular route that most students take because it leads to networking opportunities, future job opportunities, and a lot of students get paid through that route. But you can always do more than one. Study abroad is definitely the second most popular as well. Some students do all 4, definitely not required, but you just have to choose at least one to fulfill that. When you're at JU, once you declare your major, your advisor will be one of your professors within your major. So they're going to get to know you. They're going to have opportunities that open up for you. They're definitely going to help you find an opportunity within one of these 4 options to fulfill that experiential learning. Right now, the median starting salary of our graduating students is $66,689 per year, and the brands around that number are just a few of the places where our seniors already had full-time jobs ready for them by the time they graduated. And now I do want to show you just a few photos of what our residence hall looks like for our freshmen. So right here, these are just a few of a couple clips of what the freshman residence hall looks like. So you live with one roommate, and everything in that kind of orangish rust wooden color is what comes with the room. So you get a bed that can either be lofted or lowered. You get a desk, a chair, a closet space, and a little dresser drawer. So that all comes fully furnished with the room, and then you're welcome to bring any other options or materials that you want with you, an extra cabinet space, bedding, things of those types of things, however you want to help furnish the rest of your room. And then it is a community style bathroom for your first year. However, the bathrooms are cleaned for you 3 times a day, always restocked with toilet paper, paper towels, and soap. And then the hallways outside of your room and the community spaces are vacuumed for you once a day. So it's not terrible, I promise. And you're only sharing it with one hallway, so only about 20 other people to each of your halls. And then other than that, that is the end of our slideshow, and I would love to open it up for any questions you guys might have in the chat.
And then Kirsten, if I can add to the dorm thing. So for international students, when we do dolphin dive-in for fall, it's our orientation week. And during the first or second day of that orientation week, for move-in, ISS provides a shuttle for y'all to like a local superstore, so like a Walmart-esque store, and there like you can buy basically all your essentials. So we typically provide for you the basics like clothing hooks, and then basic beddings as well, and hampers, but the rest of it, just so you know, like you would need to bring yourself. But just FYI, you don't need to be packing your pillows in there, because we will provide you a way to go get it immediately, or we will provide you a super basic starter for the night.
Awesome, Kim, thank you. And I just did just put in the chat our contact information, as well as the link to the Pathway of Distinctions link, as well as to the international page that also has more information about what we talked today, and then more on the proof of English proficiency and what we take and the scores you must meet. And now you all are more than welcome to ask any questions in the Q&A section or in the chat section. Awesome. Kim, if you have it pulled up, what is the SAT English score that is necessary for them to meet? I just can't remember it off the top of my head. My apologies.
No, 100%. The SAT score that is required is, gotta scroll to the bottom. So the SAT reading and writing minimum score is 500.
500. So there you go, 500. Thank you, Kim. And then we have another question. My son is a U.S. citizen, but will live abroad. But they live abroad. Will my son be considered an international student?
No, they will not. They qualify for all the U.S. benefits like the FAFSA, for example, and other items like that.
Yep, as long as he has a social security number, he'll move forward with all those regular U.S. citizen benefits and grants. All right. Well, I don't see any other questions popping through. Well, thank you guys so much. Oh, we got one more. Julia, that'll all depend on the full breakdown of, when he gets admitted and merit and all of that. So I would recommend your son message his admissions counselor, which will be on his status portal, and they can go through all of that with him. All right. Well, any further questions you guys may have, please feel free to reach out to Kim or myself. And then if any of you all have applied, on your status portals will be your admissions counselor's contact. So please feel free to reach out to them. They'll be working with you closely throughout the process. And then moving forward from there, we are more than happy to work with you guys for any further questions you guys may have. All right, everybody, you all have a good one, okay?